Our DPWH District Engineering Office Davao del Sur YouTube channel, to all back members as well as the DPWH members, back secretariat, interested bidders, suppliers, observers and viewers, good morning. Our procurement proceedings for today is a private conference for civil works and goods. The private conference will now come to order. May I request Engineer Junali to lead the prayer?
Let us pray. Sa ngalan ng Panginoon, ang pinakamahabagin, ang pinakamaawag. Aming Panginoon, lahat ng papuri ay sa iyo lamang. Ikaw ang Panginoon ng lahat ng likha, ang hari sa araw ng pagluto. Ikaw lamang ang aming sinasamba, at sa iyo lamang kami humingi ng saklolo. At mabayad mo kami sa matuwid na landas, sa landas ng mga iyong pinagpala, hindi sa landas ng mga naparusahan, at hindi sa landas ng mga nangaligaw. Panginoon, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa lahat ng mga biyayang iyong pinagkaloob sa aming buhay, kalusugan, pamilya, at sa pagkakataon kami magsama-sama ngayon. Sa aming pagtitipo na ito, naway pagkalooban mo kami ng karunungan, ibay ng loob at pagkakaisa. Panginoon, gawin mo pong matagumpay ang aming procurement activity ng gagawin ngayon. At naway lahat ng aming hakbang ay ayon sa iyong kalooban. Iligtas mo kami mula sa kasamaan ng aming sarili at sa kasamaan ng paligid. Lahat ng ito ay aming hindi nadalangin sa iyong banal at mataas na pangalan. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, John. Salamat. Once again, our activity for today is a private conference for 9 civil works project and only one good for civil works. Number 1 is 25 LD 0232, construction of classrooms, Matanao National High School, Matanao, Davao del Sur. EBC is 10 million pesos. Contract duration is 105 calendar days. Number 2 is 26 LD 0011, construction or completion of public health facility, Barangay Health Station, Barangay Dawis, City of Digos, Davao del Sur, with an EBC of 2,475,000 pesos. Contract duration is 60 calendar days. Number 3 is 26 LD 0012, construction, completion of public health facility, Barangay Health Station, Barangay Balabag, City of Digos. EBC is 2,475,000 pesos. Contract duration is 90 calendar days. Number 4 is 26 LD 0013, construction of multipurpose building, Barangay Sibayan, Bansalan, Davao del Sur. EBC is 4,950,000 pesos. Contract duration is 90 calendar days. Number 5 is 26 LD 0020, construction, completion of multipurpose building, daycare center, Barangay Dulangan, Digos City, Davao del Sur, with an EBC of 2,475,000 pesos. Contract duration is 60 calendar days. Number 6 is 26 LD 0021, construction or completion of multipurpose building, daycare center, Barangay Rizal, Malalag, Davao del Sur. EBC is 2,475,000 pesos. Contract duration is 60 calendar days. Number 7 is 26 LD 0023, construction, completion of multipurpose building at Rizal Elementary School, Barangay Rizal, Malalag, Davao del Sur. EBC is 1,980,000 pesos. Contract duration is 60 calendar days. And the last one, 26 LD 0039, construction of multipurpose building, evacuation center, function hall, Barangay Manual, Tiblawan, Davao del Sur. EBC is 4,950,000 pesos. Contract duration is 90 calendar days. Also for civil works, only 8. For goods, we have 25 GLD 0075. Procurement of various office furniture. 25 seats, modular office table and partition, single type and etc. for the use of the DPWH Davao del Sur District Engineering Office, Digos City. PR number 25-10-106. EBC is 3,873,297 pesos only. Contract duration is 60 calendar days. Okay, that's all for goods. May I request Engineer Rebecca Sila, Head of Secretariat, to conduct a roll call and acknowledge the interested bidders and observers.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We would like to acknowledge the presence of our BAC members, DPWH members, Commission on Audit who is watching live, prospective bidders for the bid conference for civil works and goods. Engineer Romeo C. Caniban, Engineer Tudoro Emungo Jr., Engineer Virginia C. Uñez, Engineer Rialin D. Santos, Engineer Daisy Caniban, Engineer Achilles Ray R. Bolos, Engineer Edward M. Abdallah, Engineer Rudel F. Pulinar, Engineer Raymond G. De La Cruz, Engineer Ruji S. Paha, Engineer Waldomer C. Ausa, Engineer Mariano L. Lucero Jr., Engineer Teresa E. Relacion, Engineer Ramel J. Maranan, Engineer Junaidi T. Mundi, Engineer Robertson P. Acujedo, Mr. Elton John Albert Esterencio, Mr. Ivan Nico C. Tormes, Engineer Anilesa C. Bonsit, Engineer Winnie Bin G. Montañez, Engineer Vanessa Ilasconia, Engineer Annie Lorraine Diamante, Engineer Kinsey Marie G. Aliguay, and Ms. Lucrecia Yungkukong. Mr. Chair, we issue notice to observers dated November 11, 2025 to Honorable John Francis Cagas, Congressman Davao del Sur, COA Audit Team, Mr. Eric A. Himelda, State Auditor, Mr. Wilfredo M. Vicina, President, Philippine Constructors Association Incorporated, the Director, National Constructors Association of the Philippines Incorporated, Mr. Carlo M. Batalla, President and Chairman, Crime and Corruption Watch International Incorporated, Honorable Larry A. Ramirez, Punong Barangay, Dawis, Digos City, Davao del Sur, Honorable Jonathan Omar Torrillas, Punong Barangay, Balabag, Digos City, Davao del Sur, Honorable Pedro C. Rua Jr., Punong Barangay, Dulangan, Digos City, Davao del Sur, Honorable Jimmy L. Cabanas, Punong Barangay Sibayan, Bansalan, Davao del Sur, Miss Ellen Marie Jane E. Gambua, Secondary School Principal 3, Matanao, Davao del Sur, Honorable Rosita A. Angel, Punong Barangay Rizal, Malalag, Davao del Sur, Honorable Ricardo C. Saplahio, Punong Barangay Manuel Kiblawan, Davao del Sur. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Hello. Thank you, Engineer Sila. Since majority of the BAC members are present, I declare the pre-bid conference is in quorum. Okay, our agenda for today is brief. Number one is a brief presentation or explanation by the BAC. Letter A is basic contract data, including contract description, ABC, and also the duration. B is requirements for bidding documents, including instruction to bidders, general condition of contract, special conditions of contract, specifications, drawings, and bill of quantities and forms. Letter C is documents to be submitted by the bidders. Number 1 is technical component of the bid. A, Bill certificate. B-1 if not enrolled in CWR, pickup license and registration statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, or SLCC. NFCC, competition, and statement of total asset and total liabilities. GBE, if applicable, if already enrolled in CWR, eligibility documents to be updated, if any. Bid security, project requirements, organizational chart, or the contract. List of contractors, key personnel, list of major equipment, and omnibus sworn statement. Number 2, financial component of the bid. A, bid form. B, bid prices in the bill of quantities. Letter C is a detailed estimate, and D, cash flow. For D, criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post qualification, and award. For agenda number 2, question or comments from bidders and replies of box, the representative of procuring entity. Agenda number 3 is other matters, and agenda number 4 is summary of proceeding, including supplemental bid bulletin to be issued. And now we proceed to the agenda number 1, the brief presentation to be discussed, or the planning and design section by Engineer Barry Apitan. Let's proceed to Architect Armil Tan. Sorry, Tan. Let's proceed to Civil Works.
So good morning everyone, and to our online viewers and observers. So for our pre-bid conference, we have 8 civil works projects. One from DEFF 2025 and 7 projects for revised 2026 and EP project. So for the first project, with a contract ID of 25LD0232 and a project title of Construction of Classrooms, Matanao National High School, Matanao, Davao del Sur, with an appropriation amount of 10,025,125 pesos and 63 centavos, with an ABC amount of 10 million pesos and a contract duration of 105 calendar days for 2025 BFF. Next. So our project will be located at Barangay Matanao at Matanao National High School. So here's the visiting map and the site condition. Next, for the proof of ownership, the LGU or the school provided a deed of donation. So here's the photo or the document. Next. So here's our site development of the plan, which will be located along the front fence and along the road. Next, here's our typical perspective for the modified standard classroom, a one-story four classroom building. Next, so for the floor plan, the dimension of the building is a 36 meter by 9.5 meter. The total floor area of 357 square meters. So this project is a one-story, 4 classrooms with attached toilet on each classroom. Next. So the project is a complete project or structure which includes the following. So we have the permits, clearances, the billboard, and the mobilization, demobilization. The earthwork, which includes the individual removal of trees, excavation and embankment. And then the reinforced concrete, which includes the structural concrete with 3,000 psi or class A and a 4,000 psi. Then reinforcing steel, both grade 40 and grade 60. Next, so for the finishing and assembly works, we have masonry works, fabricated materials, finishing works such as tile works, paint works, roof framings, plumbing, electrical and mechanical. So that's it for the first project. So for our second project, with a contract ID of 26LD0011 with a project title of Construction Completion of Public Health Facility, Barangay Health Station, Barangay Dawis, City of Digos, Davao del Sur, with an appropriation amount of 2,500,000 pesos, with an ABC amount of 2,475,000 pesos, and a contract duration of 60 calendar days, funded for revised 2026 NEP. Next. So our project will be located at the Barangay Dawis, Digos City. So here's our vicinity map and its site condition. Next. So our site, the project will be located right behind the existing Barangay Hall. Next. So here's the LGU provided their proof of ownership, tax declaration, and disbursement voucher. Next. So here's our typical protected or building for a barangay health station. Next. So our building is a one-story building with a dimension of 7 by 6.5 meters with a total floor area of 45.5 square meters, which includes the space requirements inside the building will consist of a porch, a lobby or business area, a consultation or treatment room, prenatal room, a PWD toilet room, and a service entrance at the back. Next. So the building would mainly compose of reinforced concrete, columns and beams, and steel trusses. Next. So here's our summary of quantities. So the project is a complete structure which includes the earthwork, which consists of the excavation and embankment, the reinforced concrete with a structural concrete of 3,000 psi and 4,000 psi, and reinforcing steel of grade 40 and grade 60. Finishing for the finishing under civil works, we have the masonry works, the fabricated materials such as doors and windows, the finishing works of such as tile works and ceiling and reflective insulation, paint works, roof framing or roofing works, plumbing and sanitary works, the electrical works. So you may review these details on the uploaded version of the live or the broadcast. Next, so that's it for the second project. So for the third project, with a contract ID of 26LD0012, with the project title of Construction Completion of Public Health Facility, Barangay Health Station, Barangay Balabag, City of Digos, Davao del Sur. The appropriation amount of 2,500,000 pesos and an ABC amount of 2,475,000 pesos. The contract duration of 60 calendar days, funded for revised 2026 NEP. Next. So our project will be located at Barangay Balabag. So here's our vicinity map, right at their barangay site. Next. So our site development plan, the project will be right beside their barangay hall, which is a proposed barangay health station. Next. So for the proof of ownership, they already provided their solution and their extrajudicial settlement with deed of absolute sale. Next. So again, the typical perspective of our barangay health station. Next. So our project would also be a 7 meter by 6.5 meter building with a total floor area of 45.5 square meters, which spaces provided such as porch, lobby or business area, a consultation or treatment room, a prenatal room, a PW toilet room, and a service entrance at the back. Next. So the building would mainly compose of reinforced concrete, columns and beams, and steel chassis. Next. So for our summary of quantities, so the project is a complete structure, so which also includes the earthworks, the reinforced concrete, the finishing other civil works such as masonry works, fabricated materials such as doors and windows, finishing works such as ceiling, tile works, and insulation, paint works for the interiors and exterior, then roof framing, plumbing, and electrical works. So you may also review these details of uploaded version. Next, so for our fourth project, with a contract ID 26LD0013, with a project title of construction of multi-purpose building Barangay Sibayan, Bansalan, Davao del Sur, with an appropriation amount of 5 million pesos, and an ABC amount of 4,950,000 pesos, the contract duration of 90 calendar days, funded for the 2026 NEP. Next. So here's our vicinity map and the site condition of the project, which is located at the Barangay Sibayan, Bansalan, Davao del Sur. Next, so development plan, which will be right beside their health center, existing health center. Next, so here's a typical perspective for this project, which will serve as a function hall or an evacuation center. Next, so our building is a one-story building. So here's our floor plan. So the dimension of the project will be a 15 meter by 8 meter building with a 120 square meters floor area. So here's the spaces inside. We have a veranda, a function hall, an office, the pantry, female and male toilet and bath, and a pantry, and a service entrance at the back. Next, so the building would mainly compose of reinforced columns and beams and steel trusses. Next, so the LGU provide for the proof of ownership. The LGU provided a deed of donation. Next. So summary of quantities. So the project will also be a complete structure, so which includes the earthwork, the reinforced concrete works such as the 3,000 PSI and 4,000 PSI structural concrete, and a grade 40 and grade 60 reinforcing steel. In its finishing and other civil works, we have the masonry works, the fabricated materials such as the doors and windows, the other finishing works such as the tile works, ceiling, painting works, roofing works, plumbing, and electrical works. Next, that's it for our fourth project. So for our next project, we have the contract ID of 26LD0020 with a project title of construction, completion of multi-purpose building, daycare center, Barangay Dulangan, Digos City, Davao del Sur, with an appropriation amount of 2,500,000 pesos, an ABC amount of 2,475,000 pesos, and a contract duration of 60 calendar days, funded for revised 2026 NEP. Next. So here's our vicinity map and the site condition. So the project will be located at Dulangan Elementary School. Next. So the LGU or the school provided their proof of ownership, a deed of donation. Next. So here's the site development of the project, which will be located right beside the principal's office. Next. So here's our typical daycare center building, one-story building. Next. So our project has an 8 by 10.5 meter dimensions, or a total floor area of 60 square meters. So a classroom building with attached toilet at the back. Next. So our project for the summer of quantity, so the project is a complete structure, so which includes the following: the earthwork, the earthworks concrete, finishing and other civil works such as masonry works, fabricated materials, finishing works such as tile works and plastering, paint works, roof reading and roofing works, plumbing or sanitary works, electrical, and also mechanical, which composed of fire extinguishers. That's it for this project. So for next project, with a contract ID of 26LD0021, with the project title of Construction Completion of Multipurpose Building, Daycare Center, Barangay Rizal, Malalag, Davao del Sur, an appropriation amount of 2,500,000 pesos, an ABC amount of 2,470,000 pesos, and a contract duration of 60 calendar days, still funded for 2026 NEP. Next. So, for this project, here's our vicinity Matanao site donation, which will be located at the Rizal Elementary School, Rizal, Davao del Sur. Next. So, school provided their proof of ownership, which is as original certificate of title. Next. So, the site will be located near their social hall, or beside the social hall. So here's the site development plan and the geotech photo. Next. So this is still our typical daycare center perspective. Next. So our project will be an 8 meter by 10.5 or 7 meter, or with a total floor area of 60 square meters, with which has a corridor, a daycare room, and attached toilet. Next. So summary of quantity. So our project is a complete structure, which also includes the earthwork, the reinforced concrete, such as structural concrete with 3,000 and 4,000 PSI, and grade 40 and grade 60 reinforcing steel, and with masonry works, fabricated materials such as doors and windows, finishing works such as tile works, painting works, roof framing and roofing works, plumbing or sanitary works, then electrical and mechanical works. So you may review these details for the uploaded version of the conference or the broadcast. Next. So for our next project, with a contract ID of 26LD0023, the project title of Construction Completion of Multipurpose Building at Rizal Elementary School, Barangay Rizal, Malalag, Davao del Sur, with appropriation amount of 2 million pesos, and an ABC amount of 1,980,000 pesos, and a contract duration of 60 calendar days, and then for revised 2026 NEP. Next. So this project will be also located at the Rizal Elementary School at Barangay Rizal, Malalag, Davao del Sur. So this is the condition. And I see the map. So next. So for site development plan, it will be located right beside the proposed daycare center discussed before. Okay, next. So still the same proof of ownership from Rizal Elementary School and original certificate of title. Next. So this project for this multi-purpose building, it is a social hall building. So here's a typical perspective of the social hall building. Next. So the dimension of the project will be an 8 by 10 meter building, or and here's the sample drawings of the building with the height, showing its height, 6.77 meters, a total floor area of 80 square meter. Next. So still our building will be composed of metal trusses and reinforced concrete columns and beams. So here's the sample details of the project. So our project is a complete structure which only includes the earthwork, reinforced concrete, masonry works, finishing works, paint works, roof framing and roofing works, and electrical works. So that's it for our social hall building for Rizal Elementary School. Next. So for the last civil work project with a contract ID of 26LD0039 and a project title of Construction of Multi-Purpose Building, Evacuation Center or Function Hall, Barangay Manual, Kiblawan, Davao del Sur, an appropriation amount of 5 million pesos, EBC amount of 4,950,000 pesos, with a contract duration of 90 calendar days, funded for 2026 and EP revised 2026. Next. So our project or the facility will be located at Barangay Manual, Kiblawan, Davao del Sur. Next. So here's our site development plan, which will be along the health center, their existing health center and their existing multi-purpose building. Next. So here's the typical perspective for our function or evacuation center. Next. So our project would have a total floor area of 120 square meters, or with a dimension of 15 meter by 8 meter dimension, and the spaces included for this project would have a veranda, a function hall, an office or storage, pantry, a female and male toilet and bath, washing area, and a service entrance at the back. Next. So our building will mainly composed of reinforced concrete columns and beams and steel trusses. So the LGU provided for the proof of ownership a deed of absolute sale. So for our summary of quantities, so the project is a complete structure which includes the following: the earthworks, the plain and reinforced concrete works, the masonry works, fabricated materials, tile works for finishing works, ceiling, paint works, roof framing and roofing works, plumbing or sanitary works, electrical works. So you may review these details in the uploaded version of the live broadcast. So that's it for all the for the 8 civil works.
Thank you, Armil Sisaritan, Architect Armil Sisaritan. Ini. Look, mic test. Okay. So, acknowledge the presence of the representative from the Department of Education, Matanao, si Sir John Eric Ramos. Sir, thank you for coming. So we will now proceed.
Okay, any questions about the civil works projects? If none, we proceed to goods. We explain to us by Mr. John Tercio.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. For goods, for 25 GLD 0075, procurement of various office furnitures, with PR number 25-10-106. These are the items. First, modular table and partition, single type, 1.2 by 0.06 meters, 25 sets. Second, modular table, office table and partition, double type, 1.2 by 0.06 times 2, 10 sets. Modular office table with partition L shape with shelves, 21 sets. Movable pedestal drawer, 3 doors, 35 unit. Office chair with armrest, nylon frame. Metal legs, 56 units. Conference chair, high back, color black, 25 unit. Reception table, front desk for new building, Sakwas is 1 set. Modular office partition, L shape for all our existing table now, 124 unit. Modular office partition, single type for existing table, 15 units, which includes the on-site installation and assembly of all the modular tables. No? It is also the office table also must conform with our ISO standard requirements. Purpose of this is for the operation of for use in the operation of Davao del Sur District Engineering Office and certificate of availability of allotment dated October 20, 2025 under the FY 2025 RA regular 2025 current. ABC is 3,873,297 pesos. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, any questions about the specification? The 25 GLD 0075. If none, proceed to next agenda. And there's 1D, requirements of bidding documents, including instruction to bidders, general condition of contract, special conditions of contract, specification, drawings, bill of quantities and form. Letter C is documents to be submitted by the bidders. Number 1 is technical component of the bids. Number 2 is financial component of the bids. And letter D is criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. To be discussed by Engineer Achilles Mitulos from the Procurement Unit.
Good morning. So for the documents comprising the bid, first is the technical component for the first bid envelope. The first bid envelope shall contain the following technical documents, including the eligibility documents. A. PhilJEP's registration certificate, platinum membership, in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR of RA 12009. So prospective bidders are required to upload and maintain in PhilJEP's a valid and updated file of the following eligibility documents. Registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission, Department of Trade Industry, and Cooperative Development Authority. For corporations, an updated general information sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly submitted to the SPC in accordance with its annual reportorial requirements. Next is the mayor's permit or business permit or its equivalent document. Next is the tax clearance as finally reviewed and approved by the BIR. Next is the pickup license and registration of contractors. And last is the audited financial statements, stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institution or manual submission. So reminders for the bidders: any expired document among the aforementioned eligibility document shall render the PhilJEP's registration certificate as automatically suspended, and its validity shall resume only once the said expired document is already updated with the PhilJEP's. So next, B, pickup license and registration. So kini special pickup or in case of joint venture. C, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. So kini nga form ang itong gamiton for the ongoing contract. Next, D, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC. The SLCC shall be supported by an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than contractor for a final rating of at least satisfactory in the contractor's performance evaluation system or CPES, or a similar performance and monitoring system. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. So for the SLCC statement, kini nga format atong gamiton, form number 2. So for the SLCC, major and similar categories of work. So major categories of work: buildings, construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. And the similar categories of works as shown the screen. Next, next is a net financial contracting capacity computation in accordance with ITB clause 5.6. So computation shall be based on the financial data submitted to the BIR through FPS, supported with the latest audited financial statement, duly stamped and received by the BIR. Next, joint venture agreement, if applicable. Next document is a bid security in the prescribed form and amount in accordance with ITB Clause 16 and validity period under ITB Clause 15. The bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following. The amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in cash, or the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if surety bond. Bid and bid security shall be valid for 120 calendar days from bid opening. So, kini nga format, ang bago nga format ang issued sa GPPB for the bid securing declaration. Next. So, for the bidding related forms, these forms can be downloaded sa GPPB website. Next. So, project requirements, which shall include the following. First is the organizational chart of the personnel to be deployed for the procurement project to be bid. Next. List of contractors' personnel to be assigned to the procurement project to be bid with their complete qualifications and experience data. These personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience set in the bid data sheet. For the project manager, general experience is 5 years, relevant experience is 3 years. For the project engineer, should be the DPWH accredited, no minimum required years of experience. For materials engineer, DPWH accredited, no minimum required experience. For the foreman, 5 years general experience and 3 years relevant experience. For the safety officer with COSH training, no minimum required experience. And for the first aider, no minimum required experience. The experience means total years of civil works experience of any nature in construction and engineering consultancy services. Key personnel, particularly the project manager, project engineer, and materials engineer must be different persons. Key personnel should include the following data information: name of personnel, PRC license number and expiry date, date of birth, contact number, and tax identification number. For the accredited safety officer, required upon issuance of notice of award, subject to DO 35 series of 2021. Amending DO 129 series of 2024 on the submission of Construction Safety and Health Program approved by DPWH and duly concurred by DOLE. For the first aider with certificate of training issued by Red Cross in compliance to DOLE requirements for the approval of Construction Safety and Health Program, subject to DO 35 series of 2021. Compliance to DOLE DO 252 series of 2025, revised implementation rules and regulation of RA 11058, entitled An Act Strengthening Compliance and Occupational Safety and Health Standards and Providing Penalties for Violations thereof. Key personnel can be pulled out, substituted from an ongoing project under the conditions set in DO 9 series of 2012, which state among others, if a proposed technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. Next, the bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that she will work for the bidder if it is awarded the contract under bidding. This certification shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid. So for the professional project engineer, for contracts located within the same region, simultaneously assignments, aggregate cost of not more than 500 million. So as per DO 169 of series of 2025. So next document is list of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be, which must meet the minimum requirements for the contract set in the bid data sheet. So, for the inclusion of the minimum material testing equipment, pursuant to DO 11 series of 2017. For project 25LD0232, construction equipment as shown. Next. For project 26LD0011, for project 26LD0012, for project 26LD0013, for project 26LD0020, for project 26LD0021, for project 26LD0023, and for project 26LD0039. For the laboratory equipment, current and updated certification of minimum laboratory equipment duly certified by any DPWH office as per DO 80 series of 1990 and reiterated for strict compliance as per DO 138 series of 2015 and DO 11 series of 2017. The list of contractors' major equipment units pledged to be used for the project must be supported by proof of ownership. If it is owned, lease agreement, if it is being leased, and purchase agreement if to be purchased. A certification of availability of equipment for the duration of the project must also be provided by the equipment owner and or lessor or vendor. The proof of ownership of equipment requirements are copies of current LPO, OR, and CR of the equipment, which should be attached together with the affidavit of ownership. In case of leased equipment, a lease contract and affidavit of commitment should be submitted with the lessor owner as the pledger of the equipment, stating therein that the equipment will be available the whole duration of the project. For purchase agreement, the description of the equipment to be purchased, such as brand and model, type of equipment, motor number, body number, and the capacity must be indicated in the document. Otherwise, the bank will not honor the purchase agreement of the bidder will be declared as non-compliant. All documents in support of the ownership of equipment pledge and other documents photocopied from the original shall be legibly readable and will be authenticated as needed during the post-qualification process. As per DO 58 series of 2012, provides inclusion of material data on the pledged equipment of the bidder by requiring all the bidder contractor to fully comply with the contract minimum equipment requirements as prescribed in the bid documents. A complete technical description of their pledged equipment, whether owned or leased, such as but not limited to the engine number, year, model, chassis number, plate number, production, and load capacity. In addition, the bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where they can be inspected. During the post-qualification, if any of the equipment is not in the specified location, the bidder shall be post-disqualified as per DO 09 series of 2012. So for the list of equipment, kining format ang gamiton, form number 8. Next requirement is the omnibus sworn statement in accordance with section 54.3 of the IRR. Next, another documentary requirements, sworn disclosure of the relations and beneficial ownership in accordance with section 81.1 and 82 of the IRR. Other documentary requirements, ISO 9001-2015 certification or its latest version as applicable in compliance with DO 1110 series of 2024 for pickup size range large A and medium B. For the financial component or the second bid envelope, first requirement is the financial bid form. Next is the bid prices and the BOQ or bill of quantities. Other documentary requirements, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. And next and last one is cash flow by barter. So for the bid data sheet, present ko lang sir yung mga highlighted project related information. Instruction to bidders clause 8.1. Subcontracting is not allowed. ITB clause 14.1. The bid prices shall be quoted in Philippine peso. ITB clause 14.3. Payment shall be made in Philippine peso. ITB clause 16.3. In case of extension of bid validity and bid security validity period, substitution of the bid security is not allowed. So meaning ani, kung nag-submit ang bidder o bid securing declaration, so in case of extension, same format ang gamiton. So dili pwede mag-substitute. For ITB clause 25.5A, partial bid is not allowed. The infrastructure project is packaged in a single lot, and the lot shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, valuation, and contract award. ITB clause 25.5B, bid correction shall be allowed. So, sabot ani, during evaluation sa financial documents, kung may computational errors, dawaton sa exception. Next, for the special conditions of contract, GCC clause 1.4. The start date shall be the date of the receipt of the NTP. GCC clause 15.5. For the warranty period, warranty against structural defects or failures, except those occasioned by force majeure, is 15 years. For GCC clause 27.2, violations which will warrant suspension, which may include but is not limited to the following violations below. A. Failure of the contractor due solely to its fault or negligence to mobilize and start work or performance within a specified period in the NTP. B. Failure by the contractor to fully and faithfully comply with its contractual obligations without valid cause, or failure by the contractor to comply with any written lawful instructions of the procuring entity or its representative pursuant to the recommendation of the contract. For the procurement of infrastructure projects, local instructions include but are not limited to the following: employment of competent technical personnel, competent engineers, and or work supervisors. Provision of warding signs and barricades in accordance with approved plans and specification and contract provisions. Stockpiling in proper places of all materials and removal of the project site of waste and excess materials, including broken pavement and excavated debris in accordance with approved plans and specification and contract provisions. Next is deployment of committed equipment, facilities, support staff, and manpower. And lastly is renewal of the effectivity dates of the performance security after its expiration during the course of contract implementation. C. Assignment and subcontracting of the contract or any part thereof, or substitution of key personnel named in the proposal without prior written approval by the procuring entity. D. Poor performance by the contractor or unsatisfactory quality and or progress of work arising from its fault or negligence as reflected in the CP's rating sheet. In the absence of the CP's rating sheet, the existing performance monitoring system of the procuring entity shall be applied. Any of the following acts of the contractor shall be considered as poor performance. First is negative slippage of 15% and above within the critical path of the project due entirely to the fault or negligence of the contractor. And quality of materials and workmanship not complying with the approved specification arising from the contractor's fault or negligence. E. Willful and deliberate abandonment or non-performance of the project or contract by the contractor resulting to the substantial breach thereof without lawful and or just cause. In addition to the penalty of suspension, the performance security posted by the contractor shall be forfeited. Next. For specification, the DPWH standard specifications for public works and highways, or the Blue Book, shall be the basis of the standards and codes to be met by the goods and materials to be furnished and work performed or tested for the contract. For the buildings, volume 3. The procuring entity shall use the standard pay items in the project and contract management application or the PCMA in drawing up in the specification. Okay, for the eligibility criteria shall be in accordance with section 52.4.2 of the IRR of RA 079. Eligibility evaluation for the procurement of locally funded civil works contracts shall be conducted electronically using Civil Works Registry as per Digos 64 of series of 2012. Contractors, applicants who wish to participate in the bidding are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH Civil Works Application or CWA at the procurement service, 5th floor, DPWH building, Bonifacio Drive, Port Area, Manila, while those already enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. Next is the preliminary examination of bids shall be in accordance with section 59 of the IRR using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion or presence or absence of the required documentary requirements. For the bid evaluation shall be in accordance with section 61 of the IRR. Technical bid evaluation involves a detailed review of a bidder's proposal to determine its compliance with the project technical requirements before prices are considered. Financial component of bids shall be evaluated using the non-discretionary criteria. considering the completeness of the bid and arithmetical corrections. Post qualifications shall be in accordance with Section 63 of the IRR. It involves verifying, validating, asserting all the statements and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid to ensure that the winning bidder can fulfill the contract, including their compliance with laws, financial capacity, and technical competence and experience. For the award of contract shall be in accordance with Section 69 of the IRR of RA Group 009. The award is made to the bidder with the lowest calculated and responsive bid. So for the goods and services, checklist of technical and financial documents. For the first bidding envelope, first is field job certificate of registration. Next is statement of single largest completed contract or SLCC. Next is the NFCC computation or committed line of credit. Next is statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts. Next, if applicable, joint venture agreement. Next is bid security. Next is technical specifications, which may include production or delivery schedule, manpower requirements for after sales service or parts, if applicable. Next is omnibus sworn statement. Next is foreign bidders claiming eligibility for the reasons of their country extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, a certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in the government procurement activities for the same item or product. And other documentary requirements. First is sworn disclosure of relations and beneficial ownership in accordance with Section 81.1 and 82 of the IRR. For the second bid envelope, first is the bid form, which includes the bid price. Second is the price schedules in accordance with ITB Clause 13.1, including bill of quantities. And if applicable, certificate of domestic reference in accordance with ITB Clause 25. So, bidding related forms for the SLCC, for the NFCC, for the ongoing government and private contracts. For the sworn disclosure of relation and beneficial ownership, kami nga format na gamiton. So for the singit ko lang sir. For the sale and issuance of bidding documents, the following documents are required for the prospective bidders prior to the sale of bidding documents. First is the company ID or any government issued ID. Next is the authorization letter. If not authorized liaison officer, special power of attorney, SPA, or sole proprietorship, or board partnership, joint venture resolution with secretary secretary, for corporation, partnership, joint venture, or cooperative. And last is the letter of intent for foreign funded projects. In accordance with item C.4 of DO 64 series of 2012, please be reminded that prospective bidders may purchase contract-specific bidding documents at any DPWH offices. To clarify, as an example, prospective bidder may go to DPWH NCR to pay for a bidding document of a contract being procured by DPWH card. DPWH NCR should then issue an official receipt or OR to the prospective bidder for the purchase of bidding document. And for the submission and receipt of bids, bid submission may be done manually or electronically. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic or online. For bids to be submitted manually, bids must be duly received by the Bank Secretariat on or before the scheduled date set in the bidding documents. For bids to be submitted electronically online, bidders should observe the guidelines for the electronic submission and receipt of bids as per DO 87, series of 2020. So, for the email address as shown, that's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, hello. Okay, any questions or comments from the bidders and or representative of procuring entity? If none, Sir? Okay. Proceed to other matters. Reminders to all interested bidders, bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass-or fail criterion as specified in the IRR, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act. Interested bidder may obtain further permission from the DPWH Davao del Sur District Engineering Office and inspect the bidding documents during weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Bid opening for civil works shall be on December 2, 2025 at 10 a.m. at conference room DPWH Davao del Sur, Barangay Sur Digos City. And also, sa goods, opening of bids shall be on December 2, 2025. Okay, thank you. May I ask Engineer Achilles, is there any supplemental bid bulletin issue? None? If none, let's proceed to any adjournment for the private conference? Any motion for adjournment? The motion of Engineer Junior and seconded by Engineer Santos is being approved. Private conference adjourned at exactly 10:26 a.m. in the morning. Thank you.